Hello and welcome to my channel. It is morning and I am going to recreate my wedding makeup, and I'm going to talk a bit about my wedding, and I'm also going to give you some, like, I don't know, life advice. Adulting with Angie, is that what I should call this series? Adulting with Angie? Maybe I'll just call my playlist with all my get ready with me's when I'm talking about adulty subjects, and maybe I'll just call it that. I'm eating some breakfast. Cottage cheese, that's so hard to say in English, and avocado and like, what do you call it, herbal salt. There's absolutely no way in hell I'm taking this hair down, just so you know. I'm gonna put on some earrings that I got though. I got this as a gift from my now hubby. He bought me earrings as a wedding gift. I don't really know from where, but he got me earrings. It's a gift. I should not be asking, but they have peridot on them. Wait, I have my autofocus on. Let me show you. These are peridot, the green stone. So I'm like, these are really fancy. I didn't think that he was the kind of guy to give me a fancy gift like this, but I love them. They're so me. I kind of wish I had them at the wedding, but I got them afterwards. They would have been perfect with this makeup look, and that's also why I'm gonna wear them today. Look at that. That is so cute. Let me put the other one on. I had my hair down for my wedding, but I'm not gonna have my hair down today because I'm having a bit of a, like, I'm still on my vacation, but Ricardo is at the lab today, so he is not on his vacation. So I thought I'd film this. I don't really have that much. I do have some self-tanner left on my body, but not in my face, so this foundation is gonna be slightly too dark for me. But we're gonna have to live with that as well, because I only have this foundation in one color and I want to recreate exactly what I wore on my wedding. And first of all, I wore this. This is the All-Star Matte and Blur Primer from Colourpop. I wore this because this actually does keep my face on for a longer time. So I did prep with this one. And this around my nose, this is the place where if I ever get some fading of makeup or my makeup breaks off, it's this place, but mostly around my nose. So that's where I want my face to stay on longer. I use this foundation. This is the foundation I used for my wedding day. This is the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude. I have mine in 5.5, which is a medium, which is not what I am right now. Ooh, I really need to wet my sponge. So I'm gonna put that one on, but it's not really my shade right now, but it is the foundation I wore. It is a beautiful foundation. I'm eating some more. It lasted on me all day. It doesn't break up. It's a light coverage foundation. It's wonderful. I've used so much of this foundation, I don't even know how much longer it's gonna last me. You can see that this is too dark for me now, but it's pretty sheer, so we'll make it work. We had our wedding on the 11th of July, and we had it at a place in Sweden called Omberg. It's basically I don't want to call it a mountain, but it is named a mountain because berg means mountain in Swedish. But it's a small mountain that has a very unique like flora, you call it that? Like, they have a lot of really nice like trees. A lot of people go there to just experience the nature. It is called an eco park. It's a really nice place, and we rented a small little venue there that was basically just an old farm outhouse that we just put some tables in, and I wanted something casual. I think I deserve an award for being the least Bridezilla person ever, because I was so chill about this and Ricardo was so chill about this. We just wanted to have a little party for our friends to celebrate that we got married, and we always planned to have a small wedding. So, and in Sweden the recommendations now, due to the situation we are in, is no gatherings more than 50 people. And our wedding had 38 guests. It was very small. So we just had a buffet, we had some cake, very, very easy, like no expensive decorations or flowers. I literally picked some fern from outside of the venue, and I did everything myself, like me and Ricardo. I got some help from my friends on the day to set everything up with the fern and everything. My boss did my wedding bouquet. We rented just a sound system. We didn't have a DJ or anything. We just rented a sound system from Ricardo's old student bar. Just a simple thing. And I will say, I know a lot of people, I know for a lot of people, getting married is like, this is the most important day of my life. Take it from someone who's been married twice, because this is my second marriage. It's not. It's a nice day. I'm gonna remember it for the rest of my life. I am always gonna look back at this day and think, oh, what a nice day. The weather was nice. The ceremony was out in the field. What a nice day. But it's not the end all be all. And I think that there's a couple of things. I use the NYX Bored Glow Concealer. I have mine in vanilla. This is the concealer that I used. I think what's very important to remember if you are planning your wedding or if you want to get married and you haven't been married before, and no shame if you have. Listen, I've been married twice. I was not the best judge of character for my first wedding, so I'm happy. I'm happy I got a second chance, so to speak. And I will say, first of all, you need to let go of the idea of you having the perfect wedding. You're not gonna have the perfect wedding. Nobody, listen, unless you're a millionaire, you're not gonna afford to have the perfect wedding. You're gonna have to compromise a bit. And what you need to decide before you start buying things and before you start renting things and before you start deciding things is what are you willing to compromise on? Because you can't afford a $4,000 dress and dresses for your maids, do you call it that? Is that what it's called? And like buying expensive suits and having it at a castle with a 5-course meal and waiters and a DJ and flowers everywhere. Like you are not going to be able to, I don't think you understand how expensive a wedding is. But of course there are things that we are not willing to compromise on. And these are the things you need to think about. What is the most important thing? And then you focus on those things. Because you can't have it all, because we can't afford to have it all, and you are gonna be disappointed and stressed if you're trying to get a perfect, expensive like Disney princess or like Pinterest wedding when your budget just isn't that. Because those Pinterest weddings, they weren't perfect either. They're just showing you the part of the wedding that was. I'm using the milk bronzer. So that's also important to remember, that just because you see a couple of pictures of a wedding, it doesn't mean that everything was perfect and that every corner of the venue was pretty and perfect. For example, things that I was willing to compromise on. I didn't have any staff. I was okay with not having any staff. I was okay with doing it myself. Maybe you are not willing to do that. And then maybe that should be on the list, that you want to be able to not do anything on your wedding. For me, I knew that it was only my friends and family there. We were only going to be around 40 people. I had no problems fixing some things myself. I also had no problems compromising with the food. I wanted it to be good food, but we had a buffet. Because I didn't want any staff and I just wanted people to eat as much as they want and eat whatever they felt was good for them. But we had a really nice buffet though. But like me and Ricardo, I'm not trying to put ourselves on high, in Sweden we say high horses. I think you say holier than thou, more like the term you would use in English. But we are not fancy people. We are pretty easygoing, casual people. We just want to meet our friends and family, have some wine, eat some cake. We didn't even have a wedding cake. I just ordered 3 cakes. I went to the local bakery and I was like, I want to have cake for my wedding. They're like, started talking to me about all these fancy cakes that I could get, and I'm like, no. I just want to have some nice cake. I don't want to have a special wedding cake. I don't want to have the tiered cake. And I started asking them like, what flavors do you have? And they had so many nice flavors. So I ordered one with pear and chocolate, one with lemon and almond, and one with banana and chocolate. I love banana so much. And we just had 3 cakes. That's basically it. The things I weren't willing to compromise on though were the rings. I already had my ring. This is a white gold Let me see if I can show you. This is a white gold and diamonds ring. I got it when we were engaged, and I decided quite early that it's a bit bigger for me, but I don't think I'm gonna be this slim all my life. But I got this when we were engaged, and I decided quite early that I didn't want another ring. I was fine. But this was, I mean, pretty expensive. Not like super expensive, but definitely more expensive than any of the other things in the wedding. And also Ricardo has a really nice ring as well. It's like brushed white gold. Really nice ring. Those were the most important things for me, and those are also the most like expensive things for a wedding, because that's the thing you have with you for the rest of your life, except your partner, of course. But choosing your partner should definitely be the most important thing for your wedding. I didn't really get the memo on that one for my first wedding, but you know, second chances and all of that. So for me, the rings were the most important thing. I'm just gonna set my face a bit. I'm just set my under eyes a bit. I'm gonna use the NYX HD powder. Why do I feel like I have something that's itching me here? It's so itchy. Another thing that I was definitely willing to compromise with was the dress. And this I know a lot of people are not willing to compromise with, but I definitely was. I ordered a dress from River Island, and it didn't even cost me $100. Because we were gonna get married outside on a meadow, like in a meadow on a field. And I was like, who am I really gonna be the bitch that comes out in the field with all the ants in like a big merengue dress? It's like, it makes no sense. And I wasn't feeling it. And I also didn't want to spend the money on a big dress like that. I started looking and I was like, is this what I want to put my money on? Like, we can go on a vacation afterwards instead. Like, it makes no sense. And I loved the dress I picked. I love the dress I picked. Ricardo wore a suit he already had. Beautiful blue suit that he bought when we were in Paris. I love that suit so much on him. Now I'm using the High Glass finishing powder. This is in medium. And these are exactly the things that I wore on the wedding. So I know for a lot of people, a dress is the most important thing. And some people feel like this is the day when you get to feel like you're prettiest. And I 100% respect that. And if you feel like that, you should definitely go for the dress. I also did my makeup myself, and I also didn't do my hair. And that saves a lot of money. I knew it was going to be raining. It didn't rain as much as it said it was going to do, which was nice. But that's why I didn't do anything with my hair, because my hair is the typical Scandinavian hair. If it hears about rain, it's just whoop, whoop, whoop. So I didn't do anything with my hair because I knew if it like even heard rumors about rain, it was just going to fall down. It made no sense. So this is basically what my face makeup was before, of course, putting on bronzer and stuff. I'm just gonna do my brows. Brows are boring. Brows are boring. Okay, so this is where we're at. I actually used this. I used the airbrush bronzer in 2 medium because this looks very nice over a cream bronzer. Nail problem. Now I don't have a self tanner, so now it's gonna look a bit more, but it did have self tanner on the wedding, and it looks pretty subtle, and I felt like maybe I should not go for like the most intense bronzer on my wedding day. I don't know, I could be wrong. It's gonna look a bit more intense today though, because yeah, no self tanner. I think like with weddings, I think the most important thing is that you decide what you want to do. There are so many like things that people expect out of a wedding, like butterflies and doves and 7-layer cakes and a DJ and a super expensive dress and like maids by the dozens, and you just gotta do what you gotta do. For me, the most important thing was that I got to marry Ricardo. And that's it. Everything else was an added bonus. For me though, it was very important that people that came there just came to have a good time. So we actually did have an open bar, but we had so much left though, because people, well, they weren't as thirsty as I thought it was gonna be. But we did have an open bar. I did use this one in Seychelles. And that was something that I wanted to do. So, and especially in Sweden, alcohol is very expensive. So I did put some money on that. But I wanted people to be like, you know, have a good time. We didn't ask for any gifts because I don't want any toasters. don't give me any toasters. Okay, I don't want a toaster, I don't want a vase, I don't want any linen, I don't want any of that. I actually suggested to my mom that we would have a inverted gift table, but she said no. Basically, I could put up all the shit that I want to get rid of. I use the high glass highlighters, both of them. And I use some Slay All Day, so I'm gonna do that as well. So that I can put up all of my shit on a table and people have to take at least one gift home. I thought that was a great idea, but my mom said no. But we didn't want any gifts. Like, we are moving this year and we want to get rid of as much stuff as possible. But we didn't ask for any gifts and we didn't expect any gifts, but we did get quite a lot of, like, because we said we didn't want anything, people just got us fancy bottles of wine and champagne instead. And so we could basically celebrate with a fancy bottle of champagne, I don't know, every week until Christmas. Which, I mean, we might. Who's to say we're not? And everyone was like, save this for a special occasion. But we have like 20 bottles of fancy wine and champagne now. And I'm like, how many amazing things do you think happens to us? I can even think of one occasion where this would be good. I'm using the lighter one up here just a little bit. So yeah, we need to figure out a lot of really fancy occasions where we can have that. Okay, that's nice. I like that. I used the Rock and Rose by Jordana. Someone asked me where I got this because you can no longer find Jordana on Beauty Bay, and I bought mine on Beauty Bay before they started selling it, and I don't know where it's available now. If we're in Europe, that is. I know where it's available in US, but not in Europe. And then I actually used the lip tonic. Is this looking shoppy? No, I think it's just a light. It's looking nice. I used the lip tonic by Kaleidos and I used it in Immersion. And these are so comfortable and they are like just a watery tint, and they're very comfortable on the lips and they fade very gracefully, and they also dry down, so they're ideal for kissing. So this is the lip I had on, and this is I actually brought this lip to the wedding and my friend forgot to bring a lippy, so this is also the lippy that my friend had. So now I'm gonna do my eyeshadow because that's what's left. I did start with the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, and I used this shadow up here, this like green shadow here. That's the first one that I used. And I used this brush because it still has the green on. This is the Tapered Blending E35 by Sigma. I am changing my name, although I haven't mailed the letter yet. Oh my god, the letter is still, like, I see it. Oh yeah, it's over here on the floor. On the floor. Don't tell my husband. And I am changing my name to Ricardo's name. I'm not packing this on. I used this as a transition shade because I knew I wanted this look to be a bit grassy green. That's why I'm not packing it on. I'm just going in a bit like softly. And I'm also cold. That's why I'm wearing this and not like something fancy. If you were wondering why I didn't put my wedding dress on. I didn't feel like it. But I am changing my name, but I don't think I am gonna change my name on YouTube or like social media. I haven't 100% decided, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna keep Nyqvist, even though that's not gonna be my name in a bit, because I am changing to my husband's feels weird saying husband. My husband's okay, stop. I'm changing to my husband's Italian name, and if you had a problem with Nyqvist, I cannot imagine the kind of problem you would have with his Italian name. Hi sweetie, are you bored? And I don't think that, I mean, it's not like, do you want to try the cottage cheese? Is that why? Do you want to try some? Come, come. Do you hear that? He's cleaning out the bowl. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it's not like my name is a secret, but I'm not gonna, I don't think I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna keep it for my, like, my personal life. But I am changing my name to my husband's Italian name. And he has an Italian first name, you know, Riccardo, and an Italian last name from his family in Italy, but his mom is Swedish and he was born in Sweden. I know some people ask. So he is, I think his dad actually is half Italian, half Portuguese. So I think he's actually not half Italian. I think he's like 25% Italian, 25% Portuguese. But because some of his family does live in Portugal as well. I'm not 100% about like all of the details, I will say. But it's so funny because I spoke to his aunt. She lives in Rome after the marriage, and she's so funny. She always wants to talk to me, but she doesn't really speak English, and I do not speak Italian. Like my Italian vocabulary is basically Gucci. Like that's what I have. So she always wants to talk to me, and I'm always like it's so funny. It's so funny, but she was so happy, and she was happy about me taking the name. Because of course Ricardo's sister, if she's getting married, I think she's taking her boyfriend's name. I was saying, she was like, oh my god, I'm so happy to be on a wedding, because Ricardo has a sister that's called Valentina, and I was like, okay, so you next time. And her boyfriend was like, maybe. I was like, really? I hope so. It will make it beautiful, like bride and groom. Basically, I'm gonna leave it like this. And then I used some of the Makeup Geek singles. I think I used these two, like the two greens here. I'll put the names of them down below, but I don't want to poke them up right now with my nails. I still haven't really gotten used to them. Did I use this brush? I might have used this brush for this one, to be fair. I don't think I did, but I think I will today. I probably used something else. What can I have used? I don't know. So basically took this, like, not the absolute darkest green, but the second to darkest green, and I just put a bit in my crease. I don't know if this is going to be an exact replica, because I don't exactly know how much I took and like where I exactly put it, but these are at least the colors I used. What is the thing, if you have gotten married, or if you haven't gotten married, if you got married, what was the thing that you couldn't see yourself compromise with? What was the thing that you were like, this, I need this on my wedding? And the same if you aren't married, if you are planning to get married one time in your life, like what is the thing that you cannot see yourself compromising with? I know, like, for me, one of the things that I was struggling with was I want to have good, like, photographs of the wedding, but I also did not want to pay the price for a good photographer because I am pretty good at, like, editing, and I have fancy photo equipment. I have a good camera, I have a good lens, and I have good knowledge of, like, what it takes to take a good picture. But I just can't, like, I can't take the picture myself when I'm, like, actually the one being in front of the camera. So my boss, actually, she loves taking pictures, and she was like, I'll take the pictures if you bring your good camera. So she took pictures, and she took good pictures. Like, she took the picture that you saw on my Instagram, and I edited it a bit just to fix the colors and stuff. And that was the thing that I didn't think I was gonna compromise with that, but when it all came down to it, I was like, do I really want to pay? I'm holding both brushes. Do I really want to pay the cost of the entirety of the wedding again on just the photographer? Because it would have doubled the cost of the wedding. I'm like, am I really willing? And me and Ricardo were talking, and we were like, we want pictures, but do we really, like, do we need like 20 pictures? No. To be fair, we only want pictures to look at and to, like, remember the day. and we want like one good picture that we can put in a frame. And we were like, there's gonna be one good picture, like at least. And there is a couple of good pictures. I really liked the pictures that she took. The lighting was good, the sun was out, and there was a lot of greenery there, so it actually looked really, really nice. So I was super pleased with the pictures that she took. And we also gave my other camera, because I have 3 cameras, we gave the other camera to Ricardo's dad, and he also took some pictures, so we actually had pictures from 2 cameras. So that was a compromise that I didn't think I was gonna want to make, but I ended up making, because I was like, you know what, at the end of the day, it is more important for us to have this money for our future move than for us to have like 50 professional photos from the wedding. And we have good photos now to remember this day by, so I'm not sad at all that we didn't hire a photographer. But I do think though that if you are unsure of whether or not you have someone in your life that's gonna take good pictures, I do actually recommend getting a photographer, because that is also like, just like the ring, the photos and the ring, that is what you have left after the wedding, and of course the memories with your friends and stuff. So yeah, I do recommend thinking about like what kind of photographer or photos you want to have. I will say though that some photographers are unnecessarily expensive, especially look at their portfolio. And like, this is me giving you advice on how to pick a photographer. Look at their portfolio. What you see is what you're gonna get. They are not gonna make you a different style. They're not gonna make better pictures than what's in their portfolio. You might even get worse pictures than what's in their portfolio, because that is like the best they have ever taken. So don't expect the photographer to take pictures in a different style than what you see in their portfolio. Like, what you see there is what you're gonna get at best. That is my best. Because sometimes when I used to work as a model, I heard like people talking to photographers, and also when I used to freelance as a makeup artist, because I did. I'm using a bit of the absolute darkest green here. Like I said, I'm gonna put the shade down below what I use. I heard people talking to photographers that took a specific style, and they showed them pictures of a different style, and they're like, I want this. But they're probably not going to be able to make that if that is not their style, and you're going to be disappointed. So pick a photographer that takes the kind of pictures you like, and expect that what you see in the portfolio is what you're going to get, but maybe slightly worse, because what's in the portfolio is the best they've ever taken. I'm just deepening up just a little bit in the absolute outer corner here, and just taking it down a little bit on the lash line. Not taking it in like further. Where did I put the hair? Not taking it in too far. I'm just a little bit in the outer V here. But it feels nice now, because now I paid all the fees for the wedding. Like, everything is paid, except I brought some single-use cameras to have for the guests to take some pictures, and those I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave them at the Photoshop today maybe, and so that I can see what pictures are on there. That's also a nice tip if you want to have some pictures from the party and you don't want to hire a photographer or a photo booth for the party. Buy some single-use cameras and just put them on the tables, and then after the party make sure to collect them, and then you develop them and you have some pictures from the party. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm so excited to see what's on those cameras. And also, I wasn't planning on having a bouquet, but my boss was so stressed out, because she used to be a florist before she was at the office where we're working at now. So she was like, you have to have a bouquet. So she actually offered to make me a bouquet, and I was like, nothing fancy. Just pick some flowers from around here, because like I said, we were getting married in an eco part, and in Sweden you are allowed to pick flowers. We have a special law in Sweden when it comes to nature and being allowed to hang out in nature even if you don't own the land. It's called allemansrätten, everyone's right to be in nature. So she picked some flowers from around the area where we were getting married, and she just made it into a fancy bouquet, and I am so happy with it. It was so pretty. I still have it here. It still looks good in my apartment. I put it in water. That is also a good tip for a wedding if you're getting married. Remember to bring an empty vase for your bouquet so you can keep it on the table when you're having your dinner. Because it's nice to have it as that's a nice centerpiece. Okay, so I did have a green shimmer on my lid and I had it from this one. I picked the darker green here, the one that's called Saturnalia. It is a dark, beautiful, like olive green, super shimmery shade, and that is what I had all over my lid. Look at that. Yeah, this is what I had, and I forgot an inner corner highlight because when I was doing my makeup, my friend came here from Stockholm, and I just forgot to put an inner corner highlight, but I am gonna use a little bit of an inner corner highlight today. But this is also it. Like, if stuff happens during your wedding, don't stress about it. It's okay. No one's gonna notice except you. It's gonna be fine. I know that this look is probably like not the makeup look that most people will do on their wedding day, but I will say no one was surprised to see me in a makeup look like this. No one even batted an eye. So if you have a special kind of makeup that you like to do and that you feel pretty in, don't feel like you have to do the classic wedding makeup just because it's your wedding. If you want to do something else, do something else. Where did I put my brush? Now let's use this one. Because it's your wedding and you are allowed to do what you want on your wedding. If you want to have a green smoky eye, then do that. I don't think anyone's gonna be surprised if that is the makeup that you normally like show up in. I'm gonna do a little bit of the green mattes under my eyes and I'm gonna do some mascara. Oh, and I'm gonna put these on. I'll just put these on. These are the Iconics. These are the ones I wore on my wedding. These are the exact same pair I wore on my wedding. And I didn't have a liner. So let me do that. Wow. Anyways, this is it. This is basically it. I did wear this one. I did wear a white in my waterline. So let me actually fix that. Okay. Oh yeah, I told you I was gonna do an inner corner highlight. Let me do this one then. The Starlight Sonata. This is actually really pretty in the corner highlight. I filmed a Instagram tutorial with this palette yesterday. I don't think you've seen it yet when this one goes up. And I used that one in my inner corners and on like the half of my lid together with this one next to it, the amaretto one. Oh my god, it was so pretty because this actually has a little bit of a pink tint to it. They were so pretty together. So keep an eye open on my Instagram for that look. I really liked it. My dog is awake again. But yeah, this was my wedding look. Of course, I had my hair down. I'm drinking some coffee. Fight like a princess. And I had an amazing wedding. It was a small wedding. It was cozy. It was very us. It was casual. We had our family there, we had our friends there, we had our co-workers there, and still it wasn't that much people. Of course, if we hadn't had Rona in town, I would have invited people from, or would I? I think that next time I go to US, or like maybe in the future, maybe I'll meet up with a couple of my friends in US instead. Maybe we can do like a get sloppy drunk in Las Vegas or something, because I am happy with the wedding we had. I don't regret anything. I wouldn't have changed anything if I could. Maybe that a couple of the people that couldn't make it, there were 4 people that couldn't make it because they got like things came in the way. That's the only thing. If I could change anything, I would have magically made their obstacles disappear. But that is also something that if you've never gotten married and you're planning to get married, just know that there's gonna be some cancellations at the absolute last minute because things always comes up. So have that in mind. I love this look and I loved wearing this look when I got married. I hope this video wasn't too long. I hope I made sense. I never make sense. I hope I made somewhat sense. I hope you like the look. Don't forget to check out all the things in the description box because I'm gonna link all of the things that I wore. I hopefully had some pictures here to show you as well. And yeah, I think that's gonna be everything. Don't forget to subscribe. I didn't do my initial spiel on subscribe to see more colorful content, but actually do subscribe. Do subscribe to see more colorful content, and I will see you for more videos during this week because I have so many fun things planned, and I will see you then. Bye!